I want to welcome you to De Yen Sa Temple. De Yen Sa means the big lotus blossom, the big lotus flower. And some of you will be working in some way, I think with clay, on the lotus flower. The lotus flower is a very important part of Buddhism. Almost all the statues you see will be sitting on some kind of a lotus flower. We are the lotuses in this religion. Lotus flowers, usually grow like water lilies in a swamp. Beautiful flowers, but they grow in dirty water. They never get dirty because the lotus flower grows up through the water, and when it gets about 6 inches above the water, that's when it opens. And if you look at a lake and you see the lotus flowers at this time of the day, they look like they're electric or plugged in because they're so bright and clear. They never get the mud or the muck on them. So we're like that. No matter where we were born or grow up, could be bad circumstances or a bad city, we're all capable of rising above our circumstances and becoming enlightened. In almost every philosophy or religion, there's some kind of a gate to keep you out. There's some kind of a gate that keeps out the people who aren't initiated or aren't baptized or don't have the right degree, and it keeps you on that side, but only the special people can go on the inside. So our gate are these lions. The lion's roar is meant to scare people. It's to say, don't dare come in here because you don't know what's going to be going on. This is a lion's roar to frighten just everybody. So a lot of people, when they come to a new religion or something like Buddhism, will look at those lions and say, you know, that's too scary. There's too many rules. There's regulations. I don't want to follow them. So they go away. But if you notice on your way out, once you've come by the lions, once you're on this side of the lions, they're there to protect you. I think that the Buddha, the man that we call Buddha, lived a very good life, and he taught us a lot of things. And I think if we can follow some of the advice that he gave, we can be very happy. And I'm going to let you figure out whether there might be a place for Buddhism today in the world. Is it an old-fashioned religion that happened a long time ago in a foreign country? Or is it something that might help us lead a nice life today and be happy? There was a king in India, and he and his wife had a baby. The baby's name was Shakyamuni. Shakyamuni grew up to be who we call the Buddha. He had everything that a prince could have. Lots of food. There were several palaces that he lived in. A palace that they lived in the winter, and a palace that they lived in the summer, one in the north and one in the south. So it was a wonderful life. As he went through life, he thought there must be more to life than this, because the king and queen kept him away from anything that wasn't pleasurable. He never got to see an old person. He never got to see anybody that was poor. He never even got to go to church or synagogue or a temple. He was always just kept where everything was nice and beautiful and rosy. And then one day he said to his mother and father, you know, this isn't working. There must be more to life. And so he snuck out of the palace and he went to the local city. And when he went to the city, he found out that there were old people and poor people and sick people and dying people. And he said, I can't stay in the palace anymore. I need to go and find out how I can help those people so that they can be as happy as I am. So he gave up all his money and everything, and he went to live in the woods. He shaved his hair off, took off all his clothes, and he just wore a little yellow cloth on himself. And he went and he lived in the woods for a long time. And he almost died because he didn't eat much food. He only ate a couple of grains of rice every day. Somebody came along and they gave him some food, and they brought him back to health. And he said, you know, I've been as rich as anybody could be, and that wasn't working. And then I got as poor and as sick as anybody could be, and I almost died, and that doesn't work either. I don't like that. He said, it must be the middle way. We don't want to be the richest people in the world, and we don't want to be the poorest. I don't want to have the most money when people have nothing. So maybe we should all be striving for the middle way. But Buddha kind of taught us, stop worrying about yourself so much, and we need to worry about everybody together. We're all in it together. This whole group here together. We want to be safe together. We want to be happy together. So it's not just this group, but it's everybody in Connecticut. We don't want to have some rich people and some poor people. We want everybody in Connecticut to be okay, and everybody in our country to be okay, and everybody in the world to be okay. Now, tonight, about 1 billion people in this planet will go to bed with no food. About 1 billion people will go to bed with no food tonight. Very poor people. So we don't want that. So Buddhism says, let's see what we can do to work on getting rid of that situation. How can we share the resources that we have? That's what Buddha said. Don't spend so much time thinking about yourself. Buddha was walking through the woods, and a mother lion came out of the bushes and growled, and it first startled him. But he looked down, and the mother lion was very skinny, and her legs were shaking. And he said to the mother lion, and when you get to be a Buddha, you can talk to animals. So he said to the lion, "What's the matter?" And she said, "I'm kind of old, and I'm weak, and I can't catch food anymore. And because I can't catch food for my children anymore, I can't make milk for my children. So the little baby lions are dying." So in the story, the Buddha just knelt down and he said, "Well then eat me, and you will become healthy, and then you will have food to feed your children." Well then, as in all stories, magically, the little lion was okay, the mother lion was okay, and she was able to feed her children. She did it magically. 3 important things in Buddhism. One is the Buddha. The other we call the Sangha, or that's the church, or the group, or the meeting group. And the other is the Dharma. So what we call the Dharma, what we follow, would be our gospel, our good words, our book that tells us what to do. And the way I look at it is any book that tells you what to do good is the Dharma. So if the book says you should stop at stop signs, that's a good thing. That's the Dharma. If the book tells you maybe not to smoke cigarettes, I'd say that's a good thing. That's the Dharma. We don't say the Buddhist way is better than the Catholic way, or the Buddhist way is better than the Jewish way. All of those ways are good ways, so we try to follow them all. The Sangha just means the people. They're the people that you go to church with. They're the people that you go to school with. They're your friends. They're the Boy Scouts that you go to Boy Scout with, or Girl Scout with, or anywhere you go, they're your friends. That's the Sangha. And what's left is the Buddha. You might notice that when the master or the other monks come in, they all bow to the Buddha. Well, we bow a lot. And before I started talking, I bowed to you. And we go around and we bow to each other a lot. We bow to other monks. We bow to the teachers. We bow to the students. And we carry it real far. We bow to trees and we bow to cars. And when we bow, we say something like, "I bow to the light within you. I bow to the goodness that's in your heart. I bow to that special place where all good comes from." And we believe that everybody has a good heart. So you'll see us bowing all the time. And that goodness within us is the Buddha. So when I bow to you, I'm bowing to the Buddha within you.